This is the desert box. So many important things happen in the desert that we just have to have a small piece of it in our room. The desert is a strange and wild place. At night, it is very cold, but in the day, it is burning hot. There's almost no water at all. The desert is always changing. The wind comes, and as it blows, it shapes and molds. So the desert is never the same. Once, Abram and Sarai lived in the beautiful city of Haran. The one true God loved Abram and Sarai. One day, God said to them, "Move from your home. I will give you a new home and a new land. It's all right to go. I will be with you, and I will bless you. And I will make you a blessing." Abram and Sarai looked across the desert. It would be sad to leave their home and their friends. They wondered if they would be safe. Would God be with them? Abram and Sarai went. They trusted the one true God to show them the way. They came to Shechem in the land of Canaan. God had been with them in Haran. Would God be in Shechem too? Then God said to them, Look at all this land. I will give this land to your children." Abram and Sarai were so happy that God was with them, they couldn't help but give thanks to God. So they built a special place, an altar, and prayed their thanks to God. Then they moved on to a place near Bethel. And God was there too. Abram and Sarai were so happy that God was with them, they couldn't help but give thanks to God. So they built an altar and prayed their thanks. Then there came a great famine, so there was not enough food to eat. They were very hungry. So Abram and Sarai moved to the land of Egypt for food. Abram was scared. He was scared of the people in Egypt. He forgot that God had promised to be with him. But God did not forget. God kept Abram and Sarai safe. The Egyptians were good to them and gave them food and animals. Abram and Sarai moved back to the land of Canaan, the land God promised to give to them, to a place called Hebron. Abram and Sarah wondered if God would be here too. God had been with them in Haran and in Shechem, near Bethel and in Egypt. Would God be in Hebron too? Then God said to them, "I will give you many children to live in this land." Abram and Sarai were so happy that God was with them. They couldn't help but give thanks to God. So they built an altar and prayed their thanks to the one true God who was with them. Now Abram and Sarai knew that the one true God who spoke to them and showed them the way was in every place and in every time, just as God promised. Boys and girls, I wonder how Abram and Sarai felt when they were told to move to a new home. I wonder how it felt to leave their home and not know where they were going. I wonder if you have ever gone somewhere and didn't know where you were going. I wonder how Abram and Sarai felt going through the desert looking for a place to live. I wonder how they felt when God spoke to them in all these places. I wonder what God was doing when Abram and Sarai were traveling between these places. I wonder where God is when you go from place to place. I wonder how many places God can be. Okay, girls and boys, it's time for us to clean up our materials so they are ready for us when we use the story next time.